Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Sofia Al-Isro. I'm currently studying at ANTASARI Stage Islamic University Banjarmasin. In this learning video, we will discuss algebraic form. The subchapter that we will discuss is recognizing algebraic form and operation of algebraic form. Before we dive into the material, I will tell you a little about a mathematician, astronomer, astrology, and geographer who come from Persia, where he had a great influence in this field of algebra.
Do you know him? Exactly. He is Muhammad bin Musa Al-Kawarichmi. He was born around 780 in Kawarij, now Khiva, Uzbekistan, and died around 850 in Baghdad, Iraq. Al-Kawarichmi is known as the father of algebra, but the nickname was also given to Diophatus, a scientist from ancient Greece. So now we know one of the influential figures of algebra. Alright. Then we will enter the material. Did you know that algebra can be useful in our daily life? Before that, let's first discuss what algebra is so that you can think about or illustrate algebra in everyday life. The first is recognizing algebraic forms. Algebra is a combination of number and alphabet, where the alphabet in the algebraic form are called variables, and the number attached to the variables are called coefficients, while numbers that are not accompanied or not with variables are called constants. Variable, coefficient, and constant here are elements of algebra. Let's look at the following example to understand it better. Here there is 5x, which means 5 times x. We can see that the number 5 is the coefficient and the alphabet x is a variable. The next example is a 3a plus 7, which means 3 times a plus 7. We can also see that the number 3 is a coefficient, the alphabet A is a variable, and the number 7 is a constant. How did you understand? In order to better understand again, let's try with other example of question. The first example, 2a plus 4b plus 3 equals 7. What are the elements? Yes, that's right. Number 2 and 4 are the coefficient. A and B is variable, and the number 3 and 7 is constants. The second example, 10 plus 7 equals 17, where the numbers 10, 7, and 17 are constants because there are no variables, so there are no constants in the end. If anyone asks about can we use variables with all alphabet or just X and Y? The answer is the variable user can use any alphabet because the variable represents something related to the problem. So far, have you been able to understand or think about algebra in our daily life? Before I explain, let's move on the next material. There is operation of algebraic form. There are three types of algebraic operation, namely addition and subtraction, multiplication, and division. Let's discuss all three. Let's go. The first is the operation of the algebraic form of addition and subtraction. Addition and subtraction operation in algebraic form can only be performed on like term. The trick is to add and subtract the coefficient on like term. Example: 3x plus 2x plus 7x. Then the first, we collect the variables and coefficients. Because the coefficients are the same, we can write it as equals open bracket 3 plus 2 plus 7 close bracket times x. What is in bracket, we add up, the result is 12. And the last, we multiply by x. Then the result of 3x plus 2x plus 7x is 12x. An example that uses two variables is 2x plus 1 plus 4y plus 3. The sum as before, we collect variables if they are the same as well as we collect coefficient and constants. Then we can write it to be equal to x plus 4y plus 1 plus 3. Then we add up equals to 2x plus 4y plus open bracket 1 plus 3 close bracket. So the result we get is 2x plus 4y plus 4. As well as in subtraction, we can see the difference only in adding up the result of the coefficient and constant. This. The second is the operation of the algebraic form of multiplication. There are two things that need to be considered in the multiplication of this algebraic form, namely A. The multiplication of a single term by a single term is done by multiplying the coefficient by the coefficient and the variable by variable. Example: 3xy times 5y. So the way to do it is equals open bracket 3 times 5 close bracket times open bracket xy times y close bracket equals 15xy squared. So 3xy times 5y is 15xy squared. B. Multiplication by non-single term. Use the distributive property. Example: open bracket 2x minus y close bracket times open bracket x plus 3a. Open bracket 2x minus y close bracket times open bracket x plus 3y close bracket. So we multiply it first to be the equals open bracket 2x times in bracket x plus 3y close bracket plus negative y in bracket times open bracket x plus 3y close bracket, whereby 2x to the power of 2 plus 6xy minus xy minus 3y to the power of 2. Then we simplify it to the equals 2x to the power of 2 plus 5xy minus 3y to the power of 2. We can also write that it is equals to 2x to the power of 2 minus 3y to the power of 2 plus 5xy. The third algebraic form operation is also the last algebraic operation we will discuss. The operation is division. There are two parts to the operation of the division algebraic form, namely A. Division by single term algebraic form. The division of the algebraic form by the single term algebraic form is done by dividing the coefficient by the coefficient and the variable by the variable. This algebraic division operation will be easier to do in the form of fraction. Example: in bracket xa to the power of 2b minus 6ab divided by 2a. We first separate between a to the power of 2b and 6ab to be equals to ha to the power of 2b divided by 2a minus 6ab divided by 2a. Then we divide to get the result 4ab minus 3b, where we subtract a in the numerator by a in the denominator. B. Division by algebraic form of two or more terms. The division of an algebraic form by an algebraic form of two or more terms is done by stacking. Example: in bracket 2x to the power of 2 plus 3x minus 9 divided by x plus 3. First, we enter 2x to the power of 2 plus 3x minus 9 divided by x plus 3. Then we find x multiplied by how many produce 2x to the power of 2? 2x times x becomes 2x to the power of 2, then we know x is multiplied by 2x to the produce 2x. Then we multiply 2x by x plus 3. We get the result 2x to the power of 2 plus 6x. We keep it under 2x to the power of 2 plus 3x minus 9. We subtract it, then the result becomes negative 3x minus 9. In the same way, where x produces negative 3x, we get negative 3. Then we multiply it again by x plus 3. Then the result becomes negative 3x minus 9. Then we subtract it again, then the result is 0. If we get the result 0, then the way we are done is finished. So in bracket 2x to the power of 2 plus 3x minus 9 divide by in bracket x plus 3. The result is 2x minus 3. Alhamdulillah, we have finished knowing algebra and also algebraic operation. How about algebra in everyday life? Have you understood how algebra is in everyday life? I will give an example of algebra in everyday life. One of them is very useful for traders who can have calculate the size of the profit or loss that can be obtained and can also determine the amount of capital that must be used.
Alright, because the material we discussed is finished, the task is to find example of algebra in your daily life. That's for me. If you have something to ask, please comment in the comments column here. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.